Hello everyone. We are here with Dr. Mercia, Dean of Matha Institute of Management Studies. Hello, madam. Madam, can you please tell us a few words about yourself?
I'm glad to be here with Collegedunia, represented by Mr. Rahul Dandapani. I'm Dr. Mercia. I serve as Dean at Matha Institute of Management Studies. I'm here on deputation from State Institute of Management and Entrepreneurship, which has 3 campuses in Bangalore, Chennai and Kochi. I have been with Zyme for 3 years. Before that, I was working with Lead College of Management. I have been in Dubai with Emirates College of Management and Information Technology, and also working as adjunct faculty with Wollongong University. Also, my previous experience goes into ACMS Cochin, where I was the HOD of Banking and Insurance for 3 years. I have served as head of the Department of Master of International Business and Finance and Control Departments, 2 departments in CMS College of Science and Commerce, Coimbatore, for a decade. So my administrative experience in academic institutions goes about past 20 years. And before that, I have about 7-8 years of teaching experience at various higher education institutions. I hold my doctoral degree in finance, which was on the topic foreign exchange exposure and risk management in hotel industry, very specific to the hotel industry. I've done my MCom and my MBA from a Bangalore-based institution. I have also gone on an exchange program to Netherlands, to Erasmus University, both teaching and learning at Erasmus University's Institute of Housing Development and Urban Management, where I specialized on city finance. I have also been part of international research group of North-South collaboration, which was sponsored by Delphi, BFID of UK, where the UK universities joined with Indian universities and the African universities, especially ACMS Cochin was the spearheading organization where I was part of the research on microfinance and gender impact. This was one important responsibility as a researcher I have held, and I feel very glad about it. And I have almost 27 years of academic administration experience. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Now, let's move on to the questions. Now, being the Dean of Matha Institute of Management Studies, what is your philosophy of leadership? How would you describe your leadership style?
Okay. To be a leader is to influence others positively for the good of the persons whom we influence and for the immediate society where they belong to. So that is my philosophy of leadership. And as a leader, I see myself as a participative leader. I adopt very, very collaborative approach in whatever I do in the departments where I have been. Basically, I believe in transformational leadership and servant leadership. When I talk about transformational leadership, it is for the transformation of people around you. So basically, teachers and students need to be transformed. And unless and until they understand, they identify, unless and until they feel the need for change, they're not going to change. Therefore, through transformational leadership, I want people to change for good. So I try to include them in understanding how they can identify their potentials, how they can bank on their potentials, and how they can contribute to the immediate society, basically starting from the department to the institution and then to the immediate community, how they can contribute. That's how I take leadership. And also I believe a lot in servant leadership, where our motto as a leader, our purpose as a leader is to serve others. It's not to serve self. So, as a servant leader, I try to do as much good as I can to my fellow colleagues and my students. And this is how I'm guided and driven by the two important leadership principles of servant leadership as well as transformational leadership.
Very well put, madam. Now, moving on to the next question. Being the being the dean of Matha Institute of Management Studies, how do you strategize about the key programs and plans for the marketing and administration of your school?
Okay, so I basically believe that the goodness of any organization or the institution or the department lies in the service and the satisfaction that the customers derive from it. So we always believe in Matha Institute of Management Studies that students are our universe. We revolve around them. So students need to be satisfied. Students need to be happy. Students need to be kept at our primary focus. So that's how we drive all our activities. Okay. So we drive our students to be extraordinary. Like, though we tell them that they need to be happy, they need to be satisfied, they cannot be complacent about what they are when they come in. They need to have the drive for achievement. When they have the drive for achievement, naturally they become extraordinary people. And they, in turn, become ambassadors for the institution. Yes, the experiences they have here naturally help them to talk about the institution to other institutions. So word of mouth of a satisfied customer is more powerful than any other form of marketing. That is what we believe. So that's what we try to do. We keep them as much as possible as the center of our focus. We try to give them the best kind of learning experiences that we can, and we ensure that they achieve their goals with our efforts involved in. So that's one marketing strategy that we give priority to, which does not mean that we can ignore the other forms. We know the power of social media today, so we try to use social media as much as possible. We have a Facebook page, we have Twitter page, we have Instagram page. So we use all this. We have a LinkedIn platform where we try to put all our blogs, what teachers write, what students write. So we try to use the social media, as well as we try to use the print media also a little bit. And be involved in some kind of corporate social responsibility initiatives, though we cannot say corporate social, it is social responsibility initiatives, which speak for our commitment to the society. So that way, we ensure that we are visible and we are known to the community. One more thing I'd like to add is the branding that we get with a partnership with Sign. So Sign, being a Premier B school in the country, coming in the top 50, they definitely give an added advantage to do this Matha Institute of Management Studies.
That was very well put, madam. Now, moving on to the next question. The education systems in India and other foreign countries are structured very differently. In your experience, what can an inbound student gain from studying here in your institute?
We may not be able to give all that a student gets by joining an international business school in a foreign country with all the infrastructure facilities that they have. But we do try to give the best in the capacity that we have. One such approach is the case method. Case method cannot be compared with any other method of teaching learning experience, because that's the best method of teaching business to students. Students get a first-hand experience from the case as decision makers. They get a glimpse of the various business corporations. They get to understand the personality of different leaders whom they read through the cases. They get an international exposure as they read about the cases. They come to know about different countries, the culture of different countries. So, to a greater extent, the difficulty of not being able to study in a foreign country is put away. Yeah, they are able to go global imaginarily. They are able to see global leaders in different forms through the cases. So case method is definitely helping students to bridge the gap. The second thing is that we ensure that students read the newspaper daily and have a discussion on the newspaper, which is called as newspaper analysis. So here what we try to do is that we help them to see the various business concepts that are involved in the news. We also help them to see various decisions and the people involved and the institutions involved. Which institution, which leader, what kind of decision, how the decision has influenced positively or negatively the institution, whether it has had a long-term or short-term positive or negative impact. All such things we help them to see from the majority of the news that we see, or the at least from the most important news items that they read every day. So this kind of a discussion helps them to talk about global leaders, global institutions, Fortune 500 companies. So I don't think they miss out anything which they can get in a international business school in another country. Today they can get so many resources on the internet, and also we have connection with many international leaders, international experts and teachers whom we try to connect online and try to put them with them so that they can today, yes, with the pandemic we have the advantage of getting connected to people online anytime for any kind of learning. So there are people willing to collaborate, and we are trying to use their expertise to get their expertise. Yes. Apart from that, I will also include we have introduced online courses like Coursera, Udemy. All those courses we have introduced to the students. So students are taking up those courses, whichever area they are interested, wherever they want to find expertise and knowledge and skills. So that is yet another way of bridging the gap between Indian education as well as an international education. Another important aspect which Zyme follows and which is directly brought into this is the learning cycle, learning circle. In learning circle, what we do is that we take the latest HBR articles, which are thought leadership articles, knowledge leadership articles, and we discuss with the students. And there is also business, government and society, another course that they do, where they talk about various sectors and segments. When they talk about sectors and segments, it is not only national, it is also international. They try to see how international segments of banking or auto or pharma industry is getting impacted and how it is impacting in the home country. So being in home country and learning business is not a disadvantage as far as Matha Institute of Management Studies is concerned. We try to give them the maximum advantage they can have with learning on different ways. As I told you, we are connecting students with international experts. They are called as industry mentors, and these industry mentors are from across the globe. So that way, again, we try to eliminate the disadvantage they may have of being in the country. Only thing, they may not be able to travel and see and get immersed in the culture, which we also try to give a small intervention by taking them for a week's trip to one of the Asian countries. Yes, that also we try.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, how does the curriculum of Matha Institute of Management Studies ensure the best practice of industry?
Can you come back on the question?
Okay. How does the curriculum of Matha Institute of Management Studies ensure the best practice of industry?
Best practices of industry. Okay. So you first thing is we belong to KTU, Kalam Technical University of Kerala. So KTU has very stringent norms and they give a regular audit. So all the stringent norms of the university are strictly followed in spirit and in letter. Letter and in spirit, we follow KTU norms. So that takes care of the basic requirement that we ensure that the quality is there. Beyond that, as I told you in response to my previous question, we also ensure that students go beyond books. KTU does not insist on cases, certain number of cases. But according to, say, the Institute of Management and Entrepreneurship's requirement per term or per semester, they must have done at least 8 cases for each subject. So if they are learning 6 subjects, 6 into 8, 48 cases they would have done minimum. And then on newspaper analysis, we also try to do how do they map a news with the subjects that they learn during the current semester. So if we take, for example, financial markets and services, and there was a news which stated that India is trying to buy US securities, US Treasury securities to keep the appreciation of Indian rupee in control. So if we take this news, we try to talk to them about how financial markets, we talk about financial market institutions, we talk about financial market regulators. So we talk about Federal Reserve, we talk about Reserve Bank of India, what is their role, and why should rupee appreciation be controlled? Is it good? Is it bad? How is it going to impact exports and imports? And we try to connect like this with every subject. Okay. So when a news is taken, we try to map it with different subjects that they learn according to their specialization. So this also helps them to go beyond the books, go beyond the basic syllabus that they have. Yes. Apart from this, we have clubs, we have industry mentors, we have webinars. This is all supporting them to a great extent, and we ensure that all our lectures are recorded, video lectures are recorded, and is given to them for viewing again, watching again. Yes, and we give some live projects when they do the subjects. Like say for example, now my subject, financial markets and services, they are asked to identify a particular financial service or financial market where they want to be employed. Therefore, they have to identify 10 people who are working there. They have to connect and talk and bring an interview with these 10 people as to what are their various roles and functions that they perform. So this kind of live projects connecting with the industry naturally helps them to gain but much better knowledge than they would just read through the book, read through the syllabus, just listen to a lecture. So these are some of the best practices we are continuously following so that students can get the best inputs that they can as they go through the two-year curriculum. Yeah.
Thank you, madam. Now, any insights into how your institute could be more welcoming to students of different races or economic backgrounds?
Okay, so basically, ours is a trust or a society-based organization, right? So the society has a foundation which is called as the Nanma Foundation, which also tries to provide scholarships and financial assistance and support to students from the lower levels of the income group. Okay, so that is the first thing. The foundation of the college itself tries to identify poor children who are eligible to study, who have merit but no means. So lower level income groups are being taken care by the trust, by the college foundation. That's one way we ensure that even the marginalized or the lower level income groups or the people at the bottom of the pyramid are also part of our institution. Apart from that, we have introduced this year a scholarship which is 50% of the fees we have waived for students who have scored 150 in math. If they have scored 150 or above in math examination, they are waived off 50% in their fee. So they are welcome into the portals of Youth Mother Institution based on their merit. Yes, and there is yet another important feature this year we have added that we wanted to ensure that northeastern students who are less privileged, they don't have much educational institutions over there, they don't have much facility to study business management in their own states. So we have introduced a scheme by which from one state of Northeast, one student can get a free seat to do this Matha Institute of Management Studies. So we are charging no tuition fee, but they'll have to bear their food and accommodation. We are in the process of shortlisting 8 students from the northeastern states, 50% for boys, 50% for girls. So we are expecting 4 boys, 4 girls soon. So that's how, that is one important way we are ensuring that there is diversity of gender and diversity of states in the classroom, in the campus, in the institution. So we we wanted to bring in international students this year, but we were a bit late. Maybe God willing, next year we will have international students also.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, what do you think your roles and responsibilities to the institutes and the students are?
Okay. Dean of the institute, this Matha Institute of Management Studies, I think my primary responsibility is towards the students and the teachers, so that they stay motivated to bring in their best into the classroom and into the department activities. Unless and until they stay highly motivated, both internally and externally, the whole process cannot be very high achievement oriented. So I feel that I need to keep motivating people to perform well. They bring in their best, both students as well as teachers. The next important thing is that if they need to be motivated and if they need to stay motivated, I should give them the right environment, the right kind of support that is required for them to have the achievement drive, to have the high performance instinct in them. So I strive my level best to give them the right environment, right climate, right kind of support that I can extend, so that they will always be achieving for excellence, nothing less than that. Okay, and in this process, I always keep reminding them of principles of responsible management education. As an institution involved in management education, we have to understand that we have to be highly responsible in the management education that we offer. So I keep reminding them of this. I also keep reminding everybody about United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. This is my constant reminder to everyone that students of business management and teachers of business management are responsible for the country achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Apart from that, I also keep talking about management MBA oath, which was created by Harvard Business School alumni after post-2008 financial crisis, the subprime crisis, which talks about 8 areas where managers need to be highly responsible and committed, like integrity, developing others, such areas. So these are some of the ways in which I try to bring in, the kind of excellence that we can have. So basically, it is value-based, ethical, professional development that I'm committed to. I I remind that people should be always growth oriented, quality oriented, innovation oriented. Okay, and we as a team of educators and students getting educated, we are responsible to the community. So uh, I ensure that as a team we try to achieve this. So my basic responsibility is towards students, then to teachers, and then to the institute. When I achieve my responsibilities towards students and teachers, automatically the institution's responsibilities, my responsibilities towards the institutions get fulfilled. And that's how I see my responsibilities getting fulfilled. Yes.
Very well put, ma'am. Now, what do you think should be the institute's top priority over the next 10 years?
So, when I was thinking through this particular question, that came to my mind was Kaizen, continuous improvement. Yeah, we are having certain basic minimum standards, and we are having a certain level of excellence. But then that we cannot stop there. We need to continue to grow. We need to continuously improve. That is the focus for us now. How we can improve continuously. So unless and until we have this continuous improvement culture in us, unless we think that the greatest room on earth is the room for improvement, we may not be able to withstand the competition that is all around. In order to stay where we are, we may have to run twice faster as we are running right now. So that's my focus. So I'm trying to put NBA and ACBSB accreditation as a priority. Then also to make the course residential so that there can be greater involvement from the students.
Thank you.
I hope you answered your question.
Sure. Now, a little personal question. When you first came to Lutz Matha Institute of Management Studies, what was your vision for the institute? Has it evolved over time? And how far along in implementing that vision are you in now?
I'm just 3 months old here. When I came to Lutz Matha Institute of Management Studies, my first impression was that we need to improve the reputation of the department in the immediate geography. So one thing which I have started doing is that giving webinars every Saturday, which brings in other educational institutions also, where we can interact with each other. They see that we are doing something good, and we are able to give knowledge freely to the students of other campuses as well as the faculty members of other campuses, which is highly appreciated. Yes, that is very well received. So improving the visibility, improving the reputation of the institution and the quality of education that we offer was my first priority. Further, if you want me, what is my vision, how I have strengthened my vision for the department is that our department should be known as a department which is committed to the society has so many problems, and the education that we offer, management education, should be able to resolve all problems in the society, because management is said to be a universal application knowledge. Yes, it may not be only for business, it may not be only for corporates. Management can be applied to a village, it can be applied to a state, it can be applied to a city, management can be applied to NGOs, management can be applied to religious organizations, it can be applied everywhere. So wherever there is a problem, management ideas, management thoughts, management principles should be used for the benefit of that particular segment of the society. So my vision for our department is that our department should be able to come up with solutions for the problems in different segments of the society, for which we need to improve the involvement of students and faculty in seeing how they can practically apply the knowledge that they get inside the classrooms for the problem solving in the society. So this is my vision, and with this vision, I'm moving forward. Hope I can achieve this vision in the long.
What would you like people to know about your institute that they might not know?
The first thing is the advantages that come from collaboration with Sign. Sign has 3 campuses in Bangalore, Kochi, and Chennai. Bangalore campus is 30 years old, so there is a pool of alumni who belongs to Sign Bangalore. Sign Kochi has 7 years of standing, and therefore there is an alumni pool from there. Sign Chennai has 3 years and the alumni pool from there. So the students, the alumni from these campuses are willing to contribute to Lourdes Matha Institute of Management Studies. Right now, there are 10 people who have been roped in as industry mentors. They are available to our students, to teach our students, to mentor our students, to guide them, to train them. So this may not be known to outsiders. This advantage is a huge advantage. More than teachers, the mentors, the industry-based people can give them a lot of input. The second important advantage is that Zyme collaboration also allows Zyme teachers to teach in Lourdes Matha Institute of Management Studies. They teach to the students coming here online. They give their expertise to the students of Zyme. To the students of Lourdes Matha Institute of Management Studies. Also, all the faculty development programs, the management development programs that are available with Sign for other institutions are freely available to the faculty of Lourdes Matha Institute of Management Studies, which keeps growing, improving continuously the quality of the faculty of Lourdes Matha Institute of Management Studies. The important advantage you should look here with regard to the collaboration is Professor J. Philip, who is the principal founder of Zyme and is also the chairman at Zyme Bangalore. He's also the chief mentor of Lourdes Matha Institute of Management Studies. He is a person who is with 60 years of experience in management education and in managing corporates, beginning with XLRI, then with IIM Bangalore. He has more than 15 years of academic administration experience. He has another 15 years of being with corporates like Oberoi and Steel Authority of India. So this rich experience that he holds, he brings in as a mentor, which helps students, faculty in the department in a great way. We have 3 faculty members who are PhD holders, 1 more in the pipeline. So 4 PhD holders with great research experience. That is another advantage that we have, which the department is very, very proud of. Apart from all this, there is also this immersion program which Zyme offers to the students of management at Lourdes Matha Institute of Management Studies. So every term, students from the Lourdes Matha Institute of Management Studies go to Zyme campus, have an intensive training, coaching, competition time, fun time with the students of, say, the Institute of Management and Entrepreneurship in one of those campuses. So when there are 4 terms, it comes approximately 24 to 25 days, which is a great advantage to the students. This immersion program again helps them to collaborate with the students of Zyme on their club activities. Like State Institute of Management has got very active clubs which work all through the year, all through the weeks. Very intensive activities keep happening where there is fun oriented learning. It's all learning activities, but with a little bit of fun and a little bit of games involved. So that again is a added advantage that the Lewis Matha Institute of Management Studies students get because of the collaboration. So the collaboration is strengthening and improving the quality of education at Lewis Matha Institute of Management Studies, which people may not know how it is strengthening. They may know there is a collaboration, but the collaboration is very intensive on a day-to-day regular basis. This collaboration is helping towards the improvement and quality of education at Lewis Matha Institute of Management Studies. Yes, this is with regard to what people should know.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, what do you see as Lewis Matha Institute of Management Studies' greatest strengths?
I see that two giants who are committed to quality education have collaborated. The Archdiocese of Chennai is known for its educational institutions which are quality oriented. If you take SB College of Chennai, a renowned educational institution where people want to get a admission, but they don't get very easily. That is the level of quality that they maintain. If you see Xavier Institute of Management and Entrepreneurship, the same thing. You get several times of application than the seats that are available. Say for about 400 seats, you get around 2,500, 3,000 applications. So that's a kind of demand these institutions have. So when these two giants have collaborated, who are committed to quality education, value-based education, humane management education, that is the highest strength that is there in Lewis Matha Institute of Management Studies.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, what are some of the biggest challenges you see, both for higher education in general and for Lewis Matha Institute of Management Studies specifically?
Higher education in general, right now, I think is the pandemic. Though we say that we have overcome the limitations posed by the pandemic through online education, there are still limitations we have because nothing can compensate or nothing can equate to the face-to-face conversation we have with people. In a classroom, you can see everybody together, but on a screen, if you want to see everybody together, it is a huge challenge. We have not yet come up with technologies, or at least the institutions have not developed the technologies where you can force students to on their videos and see them all at a time. You don't have such huge screens to see everybody and see their facial reactions and responses as to they're getting things or not getting things, whether they are interested or not interested. So if you want to, and then again interact, you have to spend a lot of time asking them, can you unmute, can you speak? So a lot of time getting wasted over there. So connectivity issues, again, infrastructure problem is a huge issue that the institutions have, students have, accessibility to internet and the affordability. All these are some challenges that we see in higher education right now. Though we say that we are trying to beat this pandemic impact with technology, that has a lot of other consequences that people get stressed with a short time of short screen time itself. Students are not able to take more than 2 to 3 hours on the screen, even at higher education level. And people suggest that we don't give them beyond that. And what do they do after that? They have to still go to the screen only if they have to study. So this is a huge challenge as I see for education system or higher education system as such. But for LMIMS, what I see is that this is a common problem to all. For us, the challenge is that we are just starting to build this department 2019 onwards. The collaboration is only from 2019. So we are almost starting from the beginning. So it is a long time to go. But in this particular point in time, the pandemic has added to the difficulty. Like faculty cannot come together, students, we cannot meet the students. So this is a double challenge now for us. Uh, Other than that, we don't have any other challenge. We are all committed to the cause of improving the quality of education. We are all committed to the cause of student development. But then the pandemic is adding a lot of difficulty to us. This is a huge challenge which we have to overcome. Yes.
Thank you, madam. Now, what are some plans that you're currently or will be designing? So, what are some plans that you're currently or will be designing for Luis Matha Institute of Management Studies, International Affairs, and or students?
Can you repeat the question once again?
One. What
The
are
question.
what are some plans that you're currently or will be designing for Luis Matha Institute of Management Studies, International Affairs, or students?
Okay, so as I answered you in another question, we have already tried to bring in some international students. I have connection with some African countries. So I have some of my colleagues working, earlier colleagues from Dubai who work with me. They are in some of the African countries. So we are trying to bring in students from different African universities. We tried this year, but then we could not get the permission. So it's a tedious process. Next year, we will be bringing at least 5 students, international students. Another important thing we are planning is the international visits. At least to some of the Asian countries that we should take our students, like at least to China or to Singapore and Malaysia. So that kind of a plan is there. So we are working on it. We have international collaboration with faculty members working in different parts of the world. As I told you, I have my colleagues, so we collaborate with them, doing joint writing, research, publications. And also, right now, we are working on an international conference for South Asian countries, which will be basically on the impact of the pandemic on these economies. Hopefully, we will be launching the conference, hosting the conference in January. So that is another important effort that we are right now into. As I told you, our mentors are from different parts of the world. So we have people mentoring from, though they are Indians, they are located in different parts of the world. So we have mentors from different parts of the world. That is another international experience our students do get. Though they cannot immediately feel, they can at least get the first-hand inputs as to how people of Indian origin are experiencing success in different parts of the world. So that's yet another international exposure we give to our students. And if you see Zyme has a BRICS Association of Business Schools, through which they organize a regular annual conference. Our students can be part of it, and also we are planning for international exchange programs. Our students can go to other business schools in some of the European or Asian countries, and then they can be part of that university for a shorter period, which is already existing in Zyme. In Zyme, every summer, every winter, students go to Japan, students go to France, students go to Belgium, Netherlands, and Germany. They go to these countries to different business schools, and they spend about a month over there, 30 days. They spend studying various subjects, visiting various industries. Same kind of a plan we are working for Louis also.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, how do you tend to establish a healthy relation and environment in your institute?
Okay. See, my entry into this institute was during pandemic, and all my interactions with my colleagues and my students have been online. We have not been meeting physically, so we try to establish strong bonding through online platform. We use Google Meet. Every week, every Monday, we try to meet. We try to meet. We make it a point to meet every Monday for 2 hours to discuss the various affairs of the department, the various programs of the department, various needs of the department, so that we can we can stay connected. Uh, Apart from that, we have a WhatsApp group through which we share our difficulties we face in the class, organizing the online classes or anything, any concern with regard to academic things. We keep uh, communicating through the official group that we have. Apart from that, anybody has any personal difficulties or needs, we call each other. We ensure that the other person is at comfort. Like if you take the last few months where I have been here, one of our faculty had to shift from one city to another. So that was a huge personal stress on that individual. So all of us had to take the responsibility of her classes, her responsibilities for that 1 week so that she can be comfortable in her shift. Another faculty fell ill, uh, so she could not attend to her duties in the department for 1 week. So all of us shared her responsibilities so that she can take rest, she can recover and come back to work. Like this, whenever somebody is having some personal difficulties, others try to share the burden, share the responsibility, try to call, find out what kind of help we can offer. So this is how we are trying to bond with each other, relate with each other. On as on Onam, we celebrated. We invited people to each other's localities, though we could not visit for a long term, just like that, to go and have a lunch and come back. Uh, those kind of personal relationship is existing in the department. We also celebrate birthdays by online wishing. We organize meetings online, and then we wish, we sing. We try to, yes, make it a really memorable event for the other person. We sing for the person, we wish the person, we, yeah, try to make the other person know that we do care, we are there, and we are part of his or her life. Like that, we try to establish our bond. And also, all national events we try to organize. August 15th, we had a very good online program where faculty and student members came together. Recently, we celebrated, we did farewell to the senior students of 2018-2020 batch, where students were allowed to, talk all their good, memorable experiences as well as some of the bitter experiences, where faculty even came forward to say, okay, if you have seen that as a very negative action from me, I'll say sorry. So uh, teachers gave a farewell song for the students. We brought a very nice speaker and we gave them a very nice farewell message. So we try to bond with each other in a very great way. Apart from this, we have mentoring for students. So every teacher is allotted with a few number of students with whom they have a greater bond. They spend more time so that any personal or academic troubles can be handled by the teacher, by the mentor. So these are some of the, and we have also got class meetings. Like every month, we ensure that we meet with the class, like senior batch and junior batch. We meet separately, all teachers plus all students, so that they can air out, they can talk about their difficulties. They can also appreciate teachers, and teachers also can say what they expect more from the students. So it is a very open communication. Time where we try to help each other, build each other, be productive in the relationship with each other. So these are some of the efforts that we take towards building and bonding good relationships with each other.
Thank you, madam. Now, any suggestions you would like to give to the current youth and the aspiring students?
Okay. The first important thing that I would like to focus upon is what Stephen R. Covey says as character traits. Many times, students try to bring in personality ethics, which is a quick fix solution for their personality flaws that could be so that they can be successful immediately in the job market. Character ethics is when you do everything, anything in your life based on the eternal values of, say, simplicity, humility, honesty, integrity, uh, spirituality. So these are some of the eternal values which students should remember will help eternally. Quick fix personality values may help short span of time, which may not last long. The next important thing that I want to remind MBA students is that every day go through the MBA OOT. This will tell you who you are and what you ought to become. So, very important, they should read through this. They should make a commitment to contribute to United Nations Sustainable Development Goals on a daily basis. Uh, that should be the crux of their life, or that should be the whole of their life during these 2 years. They should try to solve or contribute to one of these sustainable development goals if they can. If they develop a solution, if they develop an idea, if they develop an innovative, creative solution for one of these plans to be achieved shortly, then there is nothing greater than that as an MBA, as a business management student, that they can be proud of. And this will take them to greater heights, naturally, definitely. And finally, let them remain as solution providers in any problem that they see in the society. Problems are ample and rampant in the society. There is no dearth for problems. But many times we either close our eyes to the problem or we complain about problems in the society. Students, MBA students must be people who see solution in every problem. They should be solution providers. And also, I would like to remind each of the students to be a person who follows conscious capitalism. Capitalism is good, conscious capitalism is the best. If students can think how consciously, how carefully they can practice capitalism, that would be for the advantage of the whole world, for the society, for the nation, and for the whole world. So these are my simple suggestions to all students. I hope the future generation of managers would be a real blessing to this nation. MBAs can do great things. That is what we looked at them. Yesterday we had a guest who spoke on what we mean by MBA, who said management by application. You know a lot of things. You know a lot of tools, techniques. You have a lot of skills. You have a lot of techniques, methods. But are you applying all of them towards problem solving? Please do, with all the extraordinary skills, extraordinary abilities that you have, potentials that you have, and the opportunities you have. Please make use of all that for the benefit of the society, for problem solving, so that we can have a very, very prosperous nation. We will have a very powerful nation. We hope for India, which is as many of our forefathers have seen as a powerful nation, as a great nation, India being the leader of the world. Towards that, let all our MBA students work. That's my suggestion, request towards all MBA aspirants. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much for your wise word. It was really nice talking to you. Have a nice day.
Thanks so much, Rahul. Thank you.